Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. I hope you're all doing well. It is good to see you. I've been away from the channel for a little while now posting. I've just been so busy with my work schedule and stuff like that. But I'm so glad to be back and posting again. I've got many projects in the pipeline. But this one was one that was a spare at the moment thing. I just came across the materials I needed and a light bulb came to mind, and I thought, yes, something that I had thought about a while ago, but never really could find a way of making it work in a way that I wanted, and then everything just fell into place, and here we are. So that's the obviously the best way for it to happen. I love it when it happens organically, and you just get that kind of eureka. I found the stuff, and I want to get going, get my hands dirty. So we're going to jump into it. We're going to be building these display stands for you. You can use them for anything, pops, action figures, any kind of collectible you wish. I'm going to bring you with me along the way. Do subscribe to the channel if you're new here. It really helps me out. And leave a like on the video if you enjoy it. So I'll leave you with that. Let's jump into it. Today I'm going to work on a stand build that I came up with the other day. Nice and simple one. I saw these kind of like shelving organisers. You can see on the badge here, it's kind of like a free tier organiser for a shelf so that you can put spices or just any jars or anything up in your sort of like cupboard so that you can kind of see it rather than it being hidden behind stuff. But I thought also, like, sizing wise, it's perfect for making like a tiered stand for action figures and displaying them. For me specifically, my Black Series figures, something I wanted to work on for a while, and it's perfectly deep enough to be fitting on my Billy bookcase perfectly, so it won't overhang, and then width wise it doesn't cover the entire shelf, which gives you a little bit of leeway on the sides with your design, that sort of thing. But I mean, when you look at the kind of size of this, we're talking kind of width, we're talking 14.5 inches by depth about 9.5, and then obviously when you look at the sizing of this, you can see kind of like the clone here for reference. You can do all sorts of dynamic stances and poses, and you could probably get at least 15 figures on here, 5 on each shelf. And I mean, like you can see on this bottom row, you could have 5 on here, 5 on here in the middle, and 5 on the top, but you could equally, depending on the characters, have less or more, and you could really kind of make some interesting scenes. So with the clone for some just get him to stand up, throw him around. With the clone for reference, you can kind of see kind of size we're talking about here. So what I was going to do is I picked these up really cheap, and I noticed that, like, if you look online, and I have in the past, display stands and tiered things like that for proper shelving, because normally they're used by stores, they're quite expensive for what they are, because normally they're just acrylic or just cheap PVC plastic, and for what you need them for, and for a kind of DIY build, I really didn't want to pay those prices, so I've never really gone into it. But then the other day I was walking around a store and I saw these, and I thought, right, perfect, they're really cheap. I picked them up individually for £2 each. I picked up 6 of them so I could have 6 shelves worth. So like I was saying, I've picked up 6 of them to go on 6 individual shelves, and I kind of worked that out as a couple of things in my head. Looking at the size of my collection, I thought, okay, let's say an average of 15 per stand. That's probably going to cover my collection. Also have a little bit of room to work with. Also, I don't know if I'm going to be able to find these again. So I thought, if they're that cheap, go ahead and pick up 6 of them. If you don't use them, or just make them into stands that you don't use, you can always do something else with it. This is why this is a great project, because it's a really useful DIY build for yourselves. Nice, cheap and easy, but really creative. For making a stand or stands for your, you can do them for pops, action figures, anything else. But also what's great about it is you could do something else with them, put them in, in your Etsy shops and things like that. Because if you, you make a kind of generic Star Wars stand, people everywhere can use them, and then you can get a little bit more creative. And what I'm going to try and do with a couple of them, I'm going to try and do some kind of textured theme ones. So like a rocky texture kind of paint job and build up some stuff. A sandy texture, and then kind of starship, kind of the gunmetal greys, blacks, and use a couple white as well. So what I'll do now is I'm going to take off these pieces that you don't need, and I'm going to kind of break down the process as we go, and kind of document my journey from start to finish. On at least one of them, I might do updated videos in the future when I have created all 6, or it might go into this single video, or I might split it into a couple of parts, depending on how much free time I have to work on these projects over the coming week or weeks. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to this one. I do have some vinyl stickers on the way, just Star Wars logos, to kind of touch these up at the end and really make them that little bit better. But those will arrive shortly, and I'll show them in the video when they do come. So at the moment, all I have is the 6 stands, and as you can see, they stack quite nicely anyway, so if you want to store them, that's great. With these ones, you can see that I've already taken the sticker off, so I've got some work to do here. I've got to remove the sticky stuff underneath, so I'm going to jump into it, and yeah, enjoy.